Hey guys, it's Sam with the Film Fan Club here to review for you today The Free State of Jones. It's a movie with Matthew McConaughey. Before I get into that, I just got back from Louisville, Kentucky. It was a great experience. I got to go there for the Skills USA 2016 National Championships. I was the anchor for my team's broadcast news production entry. It was a great experience. We took home silver. The silver. There you go. There it is. Skills USA silver medal. On the back it says champion. Oh, on the front it says champion. It was a great experience. I was very happy to get it. Yeah, I'm gonna wear it for the whole review. But I just wanted to give a huge shout out to everyone who gave us good wishes and cheered us on from afar while we were there in Kentucky, and it was a very great experience. Thanks a lot for that. So let's get into the review now. What did I just see? I just saw it actually today with my Papa Larry and my cousin Keri. They were a great bunch of friends to go see the movie with. And we saw Free State of Jones today. It has Matthew McConaughey. It's a 2016 film about the Civil War. Matthew McConaughey plays basically a deserter on the Confederate side from the Civil War. Basically, he doesn't agree with what the Confederates were doing. He didn't agree with slavery. He doesn't agree with the Confederate cause. He doesn't agree with seceding from the United States of America. So he decides to abandon that false beliefs that he was fighting for. So he decides to do his own thing, and he joins this band of resistance fighters who are kind of and then they decide to take over other territories, and they establish and then develop the Free State of Jones, and that's a pretty good storyline, right? Well, then it kind of gets a little bit muddied from there. This film. It was one of those films that I've been looking forward to for a long time. I saw the trailers. I never really knew when it was going to come out. I kind of was like, okay, well, that's probably like an Oscar-ish kind of film, so it'll probably be like November, October, December, right? So, but no, actually, it came out in July, right? Sorry, June. It's not July yet. Right at the end of June, towards the beginning of July, and whenever all these blockbusters came out the same day as Independence Day Resurgence, it's kind of a weird fit, I thought, for Free State of Jones. And so I go in, I'm like, maybe this movie just has a lot of action, it can work as a blockbuster and also be considered for Oscar films, Oscar nominations down the line. No, this film isn't really, it's very out of place in the middle of June because it's a slow burn. This film, there's, right off the bat, there is action, but the action, is not gratuitous. It serves the purpose of the film. It just kind of is there when needed to be, and they don't play it up in the sense of they could have some really. I mean, The Revenant sticks out to me as a film it was historically accurate. I don't know. I never fact checked these kinds of films, but they tried to stay to facts and then was able to intertwine some great action scenes throughout that made it didn't feel so slow and disjointed. I really like The Revenant, but this film it seems to have more so of a problem where it does drag a little bit in the storyline kind of. I told Papa Larry and cousin Keri you could have taken about 30 minutes out of the film and it probably would have been better for it. I got to talk about some positives though before I really get into it. And I don't want to mess up their names, so I have them brought up right here. Matthew McConaughey. Obviously, I was going to get his name right, but the character he plays is Newton Knight. And he does a great job. If obviously in the character, you give Matthew McConaughey a role, and he'll nail it regardless. He's starting to get to that point ever since. I think when did the McConaissance really start? Was it Mud around that time in 2010, maybe 2012? I don't know. When we just started to really, this guy just started to continue to nail his performances, and now every time we see him in a movie like Free State of Jones, we assume it's going to be of quality. We assume his performance is going to be fantastic. He's just that kind of character. Other ones. Keri Russell, Serena Knight. She plays, and I want to make sure that I get the right character because the character that I'm thinking of, the African American who he has a child with, she starts out as a slave, and he really just kind of makes sure that she's taken care of. I really enjoyed her performance, the emotional, it was very raw. The performance was very raw, very genuine. My internet's not working right now, so I'm not. That's okay. It wasn't Keri Russell. It was the other actress who is. I cannot pronounce her name at all, but she played Rachel Knight. Rachel Knight's the character that she played, and the Rachel Knight character was perfect. I really enjoyed. There's also the gentleman who I also cannot pronounce his name, but he plays Moses Washington, who has a great storyline throughout the film. He has a great kind of payoff towards the end. it's very it's all very sad. This film is very depressing, and there's that. There's also one thing I'm kind of getting more so into negatives now. The things that I didn't like about the film, one of them was they're continually throughout the film. Matthew McConaughey is kind of just so much played up as a white savior kind of character, and that always kind of bothers me whenever I see characters like that. Not that that's a bad storyline in an isolated situation, but whenever there's so much of it where it's just, there's this group of foreigner African American people, or where it's they have a white savior who comes through and just sweeps them up, and that's the answer to their problems. It's always it's a little weird whenever that's constantly what's portrayed in mainstream media. I would like to see some other stuff, but then again, there's movies like Selma. There's the word that there is that do not have the white savior thing. It bothers me sometimes whenever it's in a film so much, and it is in this film. But it doesn't take away from what McConaughey does. It doesn't take away from Moses and Rachel Knight, the actors who play those characters do. They all do a great job throughout the film. There's this kid, a lot of great child actors too. The entire cast, it was well cast. The direction, cinematography. Wait, I just shaked. Cinematography was beautiful. So it was very well shot. The only thing I just you could have edited it down. The editing was not the best. Pacing was a little bit off. The story did kind of drag, and then when it ends, it just kind of ends, and it's cut between this lawsuit that's going on in the future. Or in the future, I say it's like 85 years later. It cuts between 1870 something and then 85 years later. I don't know, math, 40s, 50s. So it's just, and then it wasn't entirely woven together as well as it could have been. Again, ties into the pacing, trying to juggle these two storylines. It didn't really do it in the best way possible. So it was a good film, I'll say, but it could have been great, and this film does very much so fall short of being great. So I'll give Free State of Jones 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 stars. It was a very good attempt by Gary Ross and Matthew McConaughey and team, but there's some pacing problems and dialogue, or not dialogue, but writing problems and some points that it made. Like, yeah, racism's bad, and it can be depressing, and then it just kind of struggles to find where to go from there. But is it worth your time to see? I don't know. It depends. Maybe you should listen to some of the things that I mentioned, and if they don't bother you, you can kind of decipher from what do I regret seeing it? No. But could I have skipped it as well and been just as fine? Probably so. I'm probably going to more so enjoy the fact that I was able to hang out with my Papa Larry and cousin Keri more so than the fact that I got to just go see this movie. So I'm Sam Carrico for the Film Fan Club. Let me tell you about some of the other things that we're doing here on the Film Fan Club's channel. We're doing the Orange is the New Black Season 4 review. I've done episodes 1 through 3 and 4 through 6 already. It's up on this channel right now. And I'm about to record a review for 7 through 9, and then I'll, of course, be watching. There's a fly flying around through here, and I'll be watching more episodes of Season 4 of Orange is the New Black coming up shortly. I'm also watching Daredevil. I'm trying to get through Daredevil Season 2. I know most of you have already seen Daredevil Season 2. I'm not there yet. It's just... my gosh. And I just got back from Louisville, so I'll be doing a lot more reviews. If you want to check out my Skills USA National Championship broadcast news entry, it will be in the description of this video. The link will be there. You can just click on it, and it'll take you to that and see what we got second place for. And don't make fun of the mistakes that we did made. So I'm Sam Carrico at Samuel D. Carrico is the various social media sites, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.